As long as Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy very likely goes up a lot more. MicroStrategy, around 5 years ago, transformed the company by using its balance sheet. They had a lot of cash on hand to buy Bitcoin. And so instead of the stock being valued on its actual software business, which had been languishing, it's valued as a holder of Bitcoin. But as Bitcoin has risen and MicroStrategy's stock has gone up, it's created an opportunity for them to issue convertible bonds and debt to acquire more Bitcoin. What's been novel is that they've issued these debt securities for almost no interest cost, essentially zero interest bonds. And so they're funding this without having to actually pay for the interest expense. Now, you might think that this is a little bit reckless, but it turns out it's a very novel strategy because they have created a lot of network value. They're one of the largest holders of Bitcoin now, and ultimately they may become the second largest holder of Bitcoin after the US government. They're doing this with the ability to borrow at very low cost. You might wonder, why are bondholders buying these bonds? They're offering for the first time the ability for someone to put $1 billion of work in the bond world to own a bond that has exposure to Bitcoin. These have been incredibly high-performing bonds. They've been the best performing bonds, so they've helped bond managers outperform by buying typical corporate bonds, but then with this upside in crypto. And so I think that this works unless Bitcoin itself doesn't have a promising future. I think Michael Saylor has not only done something brilliant, but over time, when they do accumulate enough Bitcoin, they're actually going to be able to do quite a lot of novel things with it, whether it's lending Bitcoin or helping some financial system secure Bitcoin as sort of the anchor of that network. MicroStrategy is going to be one of the few companies that has a large holding of Bitcoin that you can actually tap. So it's a very, I kind of applaud the strategy. So I think that there is a lot of upside. As long as Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy very likely goes up a lot more.
Welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros. Going to be getting into strategy, Metaplanet, Bitcoin updates here today. It is Sunday, so it should be a quick video. If you are in the US, I hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend here with Memorial Day tomorrow. And we can see here, Saylor tweeting, "I only buy Bitcoin with money he can't afford to lose." So this means that Strategy has been buying more Bitcoin over the past week. And on Monday, tomorrow, they will announce how much Bitcoin they have bought over the past week. So we will give you guys an update on that tomorrow when it comes up. And then we can see right here, Metaplanet was the #1 most bought stock via NISA accounts at SBI Securities, Japan's largest online broker. Japan investors are using NISA, a tax-free investment scheme, to get exposure to Bitcoin without paying capital gains tax. Bitcoin plus zero tax plus leverage equals Japan's ultimate Bitcoin proxy. So a lot of investors are opting out of buying Bitcoin in Japan and buying Metaplanet instead because they're not paying any capital gains tax, as you see Simon says right there. And if you didn't know about Metaplanet, they trade 20 hours every single day. You can see where they're going to be open at during what time. This is the Japanese market. They're going to be trading in the American market, and they're also trading in the Germany market. So they trade 20 hours a day, which is probably more than any other stock out there, trading on multiple stock exchanges. So that is just food for thought for you there. And then an update here, Pakistan, they allocate 2,000 MW capacity to power Bitcoin mining. So Pakistan is getting into the Bitcoin space now. They're going to be Bitcoin mining. We're seeing Bitcoin global adoption happen at the country level now. We're seeing that in the Middle East with Pakistan. That is really huge to see. And then we have 21 million SEK. It has been raised in a convertible round led by Adam Back. This is going to be around $2.2 million USD, and they're going to be using this money to buy Bitcoin. So just another Bitcoin strategy company that's putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. This trend is not slowing down. We're seeing more and more companies come out almost every single day. every single week. And it's hard to keep track of all these companies. You guys are in the comments asking us about which one of these Bitcoin proxies is the best to invest in. It reminds me a lot of back in the day in 2021, 2017, 2018, of just the altcoin trades. People are looking to get into these companies early and hopefully riding the wave so they can have some huge gains. And then ABRAAJ, they acquired 5 Bitcoin for $476,000 at around $95,000 per coin. So they're already in profit in this buy that they have. And ABRAAJ, they are going to be the first Bitcoin treasury company in the Middle East. That's at least what they are claiming, and they have put some Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So we'll track this restaurant group to see how they buy Bitcoin over the next couple of years, over the next couple of months, and keep you guys up to date with how much they have been buying there. And then we have GameStop over the past 5 days at $33, up 20%. There's a lot of hype with GameStop, and this is what I talked about in our first live stream a couple of weeks ago, that, you know, not financial advice, but if you're looking to do some call options on GameStop after that June 6th date as an expiration, that could be very lucrative, because when they come on and say, hey, we've been buying all this Bitcoin at $80,000, that's going to look really good for their stock. And it could cause the price to really rally up. And when you're seeing it rally up 20%, I think people are starting to front run that potential news right now. So that is something that you have seen here over the past 5 days. Yeah, less than 2 weeks before a potential face melting rally from GameStop. There's a lot of speculation if they've used any of their cash to buy Bitcoin, or if they just used the $1.8 billion from the convertible offering. If they used that plus all their cash, we could see GameStop have a huge move to the upside after June 6th, and that's not financial advice. And an update here from BitDeer official. They now hold 1,310 Bitcoin pure holdings, excluding customer deposits. The Bitcoin that they output was 444.4 Bitcoin. They sold around 18.7, but they added 25. So a lot of these Bitcoin miners now, they're not selling all the Bitcoin that they mine. They're actually putting it in long-term holdings, as you can see right here. BitDeer is not the only company doing this. A lot of these Bitcoin miners have Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset that they're going to be holding for a long period of time. So you got to think about the potential supply squeeze that is coming in the future with all this buying from these companies, from strategy, from the ETFs. I believe the ETFs did around $2 to $3 billion just last week, all this buying pressure. And there's a clip I want to share with you guys from a Coinbase executive talking about the Bitcoin mining, the ETF buying, and the amount of Bitcoin that's actually left out there. So stay tuned for this clip here. And this is all I had for today's video, so I hope you guys found some value. Sunday, slow day, not a lot of news out there, but if you found any value, make sure to hit that like button. We come with these videos every single day. And we have the Bitcoin conference this week. We will be there. We will be dropping new videos every single day. We normally have live streams on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That may change because we will be at the Bitcoin conference, but we'll keep you guys up to date with that as the week goes on. And thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and check out this clip here.
We talked about the 3 reasons why no longer trading as a tech bundle. In the tech bundle, inflation hedge, and this sort of catch up to gold type trade. Now, with this sort of onslaught of ETF flows, we have a 4th characteristic, which is just scarcity. Bitcoin miners cannot produce Bitcoin as fast as this overwhelming demand. So I don't think it's appropriate to view it as a tech stock in the tech bundle. Whether you view it as a commodity like gold is somewhat subjective. I like to look at it that way. Some others don't. But I think it's a good framework to think about, specifically relative to the gold trade.